That final ever Merseyside derby. So just when Liverpool thought they were going to have a 9-point lead after 24 games, now that every team has played the same number of matches for the first time in over 2 months, it's Liverpool with 57 points, ahead of Martin's former side, Arsenal, of course, in second on 50. For Everton, I mean, that takes their cushion on the bottom three into double digits. They're now 10 points clear of Leicester in the final relegation place, 27 points from 24 games, courtesy of James Tarkowski's dramatic injury time equaliser.
James, talk us through your emotions right now. We can see just what this means to you.
Yeah, I mean, early on I got a chance on the edge and I panicked a bit and passed it. Right on, I just decided to get myself in the box, dropped, and then just let it go and see what happens.
What a finish, though. That you hit that with some power.
A few months ago, I spent a bit of time with Jags at our place, and we tried bowling the ball for about an hour and didn't score one goal. So, yeah, amazing to score, and what an amazing night.
Practice makes perfect, mate. So the only question is, I'm going now, mate. Number 6, it's the best goal everyone's going to remember now. Forget mine at Anfield. Last minute equaliser for you at Goodison.
No, we'll go joint top.
Okay,
we'll joint
mate.
top. Yours is still amazing.
Phil, was that better than yours? Go on.
I won't say it was better, but he will go down in folklore for that. I've just said to him, and he deserves it. He's played every minute since he's got here. He's put a massive shift in today. Showed some character. I don't know why you're up there last minute, but someone had to.
I just seen the ball going wide and I thought, last minute, why not? Just managed to fall to me and then, yeah, let it rip.
What was that wait like? Because I saw you were actually on your knees on the pitch waiting for that VAR call to find out whether that goal was going to stand.
Yeah, I don't score many, so I thought it would have been typical if it was disallowed. But yeah, a real nice moment, and I'm just pleased.
It was tight.
I had a tough weekend, so it's nice to get one back.
Yeah, what was it like for you waiting to find out as well, Jack?
Well, we were stood by the screen and I saw the first and it looked like it was going to be onside, and there was a couple of different angles, and but it shows the character. Like I say, we all have tough weekends, defenders and people. We don't get a chance to score the winners, but the equaliser, mate, well done, buddy.
133 years Goodison Park has been the home of Everton Football Club. This is the final Merseyside derby here, and you've rescued a point in stoppage time with a goal like that, wearing the captain's armband as well. Do you realise that not only are you going to go down in history for that goal, but how happy you have made every single one of these fans in here?
Yeah, I mean, just listen to that. That's amazing, and I don't really remember about this. Please remember it for a draw. I'm just proud of my team tonight because it's a tough game against these. We stuck at it. They didn't create much, and then we could go at the end.
Yeah, Phil, how impressed were you with the way Everton played the whole game today?
Yeah, I was absolutely devastated to have to come on afterwards and explain how you lost the game, to be honest. And thankfully, you've maybe not have to do that. But no, great game plan. You put them under pressure for the whole game. You had the better chances, and thankfully, Captain Marvel stepped up and got the equaliser.
Are you proud of the performance you all put in there as a team tonight?
Sorry, I can't.
How proud are you of the performance you all put in as a team?
Yeah, I really am. It is a tough game, but we worked hard. We restricted them to minimum amount of shots. Disappointed with the way the goals go in, but we're starting to score a few goals now. We're thankful tonight we've got two in the knock of the net.
I think you two can enjoy the celebrations. Well done, James. Congratulations.
Cheers, thank you.
Not happy, and we'll hear more of that later, but breathless, really, not just for 90 minutes, but 96 minutes plus, Michael. Who would have seen that coming just before Tarkowski struck on 96 minutes?
Well, exactly. You thought with Mo Salah's goal, it took the wind out their sails, and it just felt like from here that, that Everton had began to lose a little bit of faith. Martin was still saying there's something going to happen because of the occasion and whatever, but I was sitting there thinking, Liverpool have got this now. And it was a little bit of hit and hope. Big, long, looping ball into the box. A flick on, a challenge. It dropped. So there was nothing really technical in the goal, apart from the finish, which was a thumping finish. But what an end to the game. And it had everything, with red cards, with tempers boiling over. We sensed it at half-time, the tempers were boiling over.
Yes.
And it bubbled again towards the end. Lots of yellow cards within the game. And, of course, couple of red cards to end the game as well.
It looked like it was going to be a low-key defeat for Everton in that final derby showdown at Goodison, and it was anything but in the end.
No, and if you'd have played in that 4-4 game that I played in all those years ago, 4 times we came back from the brink, and I just had that sense of feeling that I think it's going to happen again. I just feel there's going to be a final twist in this great old stadium. The ghosts of yesteryear will return. I'm not a ghost yet, but I would have been. I'd have been in there. But it was honestly, as a former Everton player, it was great to see, and of course it helps Arsenal as well. It makes a bit of a contest. At 9 points, you start to find it's very difficult for anybody to catch them. And then you're looking at the fixture lists and thinking, oh, all of a sudden, they look a little bit more difficult when we have to go to the likes of Aston Villa and Newcastle, big games coming up now for Liverpool. Yeah. And that tetchiness was always under the surface. There was so much on this game, for Liverpool to win it, for Everton to scrambling for points. And it kind of bubbled over right at the end. I'm not really that surprised in the end.
Yeah, let's have a look then at that all-important moment, really, that equalising goal from James Tarkowski. You would have been proud of this finish, Martin.
Oh, yes. I mean, I don't think I was ever... Well, maybe for England I scored one like this, but that's another story. Look, they just kept going. It was a difficult ball into the box, and I thought they just couldn't clear it. And I just thought, I wonder if someone's going to do something special, and that was a wonderful finish. It takes the lid off the roof at Goodison. Tarkowski had made the mistake for what looked like a winning goal for Liverpool. And then we had that agonising wait. Again, I was quite confident. I know Michael's a bit of a specialist in this area, but I was saying, no, he's onside. And that's how it turned out. It took quite a while to get there in the end. But I think it was a draw, this match. I didn't see a winner in it. Tetchy affair. And it's nice that, I think, 41 victories apiece?
In the head-to-heads.
In the head-to-heads at Goodison. And maybe that's the right and proper thing that's happened in the end.
Yeah, it was an amazing finish. Plenty of pace, goalkeeper no chance. And the drama of VAR.
It almost prolonged it, didn't it?
But Everton got a double celebration out of it, didn't they? It was good. And again, obviously, I'm a Liverpool supporter, but I thought it was a fair result. I didn't think there was loads of quality in the game, even though it had all of, great ingredients of a derby. I didn't think there was loads of quality on show, but 2-2, 4 goals, sending offs, everything about the game. So it was a great watch.
But Everton certainly asked a lot of the questions in terms of attacking play in that second half.
Yeah, Decore has a fantastic opportunity. He's almost trying too hard. Ahead of that, he glances wide, and you start to look and think, okay, twists and turns are going Liverpool's way. Opportunities that are not being taken, and the game looked like it was beyond them. So to score in the manner they did will feel like a victory for Everton.
I was just going to ask you that. Is that in the dressing room right now, as the jubilation, the celebrations, as if they've just won that game?
Well, 10 points that they've picked up in the last 4 games. It's almost enough now to take them from 17 points to 27. They're alongside Spurs in the table. They're feeling now that they're definitely going to that new stadium. Yeah. And boy, we're in the Premier League. It's big time again. And this is maybe the beginning of a new foundation for Everton to build upon.
That's 3 wins and a draw in 4 games. Was that further evidence today of the improvements that they've been showing under David Moyes?
I think so, yeah. I mean, Everton, it's always frustrated me because I look at the squad and I think they are a good team. They've got England's goalkeeper, for starters. Very solid defence. They've got one of the best defences in the league this season, which is incredible. They might lack goals, and they have lacked goals. They've got injuries to 2 of their centre forwards. But in general, I look at the squad and think it's definitely a Premier League outfit. I don't think they should be mixing it with the bottom 3. They've got an unbelievable crowd, stadium, buzz about the place. I mean,
we have to credit David Moyes.
Yeah, it's quite frustrating if you're down there. And of course, David Moyes has come in and it's lit the old spark, let's say. Yeah. Because again, going back to even when I was playing, nobody liked going to Goodison. I mean, it was such a tough place to go. All the things that we spoke about before the game. So I think, don't get me wrong, I don't think this run will continue. I don't think they're going to be getting 10 points from 12 all the way through the season, every 4 games. However, that little, burst of points that they've got in the last 4 games has probably shot them to safety already.
If this game was to have been played on its original date over 2 months ago, would you have seen something like that tonight?
No way. Absolutely no way. I mean, I'm just looking at Lindstrom and Jake O'Brien, who, apart from the goal they concede where there's a bit of a lack of awareness, I'm looking at him thinking, well, he should have been in the team because the skill set he has, he's quick, he's strong, he's 6'5", he's playing right back really, not by design, by the manager deciding, do you know what, I want proper defenders in here. And then Lundstram is doing a really good job in front of him. Without those two tonight, I don't think they'd have got a result.
Agree, Michael?
Yeah, I mean,
that
Moyes
might not have been the case if this had been played earlier.
He's tweaked a couple of players. I think you've got to do that when you are managed, because obviously previous things haven't been going perfectly. So you've got to come in and change one or two things, and he's obviously done that. But I'd say the bigger picture is that David Moyes and his effect on the crowd, on the belief of the players, it's a fresh voice, etc. Someone that's been there, seen it, done it, not just in other clubs, but in this club as well. So yeah, I mean, the whole combination has resulted in this.
Tactically, I think David Moyes is really clever. And I think what he does is he creates this sort of mid-position roadblock. And what they do now is they change slightly. Doucouré goes up alongside to press, and they block the middle of the pitch, and they send you down the sides. On the right-hand side of the pitch, there's often a man-for-man situation. So it's slightly different on the right to the left.
Yeah.
And Jai getting injured as he did, though, is a huge blow, because he's interpreted the manager's new messages really very well. So it's almost as well they've got the 10 points now, because they are limping over the line. Mangala injured as well, out for the rest of the season. Calvert-Lewin out for a good period. Beto's been a good addition to them. He's wholehearted. You wouldn't say he's the best player in the Premier League, but he gave them...
Arne Slot, Doucouré and Curtis Jones, by the way, at the end, all given red cards after Everton equalised. Robbie Earl.
Yeah, well, the ball gets thrown in. Bowman does well to head it on. And when it falls to James Tarkowski, he's still got a lot to do back. The ball's in the air. He's got to wait for it to fall right. What a volley that is. And then what a reaction. The roof came off this place. They won't need to dismantle it. There was a shout whether it was offside. We see here the green light means that the attacker is behind the defender, so he's in an onside position. The referee gives the goal. And Goodison Park celebrates a special night, a special result for Everton Football Club.
Tim, as we talked about at the top of the show, you've played in Merseyside derbies. Sum up the feeling that those players and those fans and that manager that you know so well will have felt just at that moment.
Well, that's restored my faith that derbies aren't dead, because nowadays it's really easy and it's really nice, and there's a lot of hate in this derby. A lot of respect, but there's a lot of hate. I mean, you saw the tackles, you saw the pitch invasion, the fight at the end. That game made me very happy, not just because of the equalizer, but because it was a proper football derby. And these fans know the statistics that we know in terms of how level and how close the scores are in the derby, and it matters to these people in this community, in that Merseyside community. Everything matters. This will live on for years and decades and generations, because it matters. And you saw the smile on David Moyes' face. It means everything to him as well.
Yeah, it'll go down in folklore, won't it? Yeah. James Tarkowski's goal. We don't condone violence, of course, but we want the spice. And as Tim says, we want that aggro, don't we, between the two teams? You
asked me before the game, will emotion play a part? We absolutely saw it there. I said my heart told me Everton, my head tells me Liverpool. Well, it was the heart of Everton today. It was the belief. It was the not allowing a special moment to go. And it showed at the end, those scenes. And as you say, nobody should be proud of what we saw in the end, because that isn't what we want from our Premier League football. But for this group of players, for this football club, for this ground on this day, the last Merseyside derby at a club that's been going for hundreds of years, that is a special moment. That is something people will talk about for many, many years. The equaliser by James Tarkowski and the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park.
Because, Tim, there's no doubt about it. They did not want to go out of Goodison Park Merseyside derbies with a losing record. Now it's 41 wins for Liverpool, 41 for Everton and 38 draws. The difference, the scenes we're seeing to what they would have been had the whistle blown just a couple of seconds earlier is what?
Totally, and this is what football is all about. You just said they don't want to leave. They don't want to leave. This is a moment in time that is going to stand on its own, and it's, you know, there'll be some sad faces leaving that ground, because they'll understand that they won't ever get to stand on those terraces again. It's you know, having played in those derbies, having been on the blue side at Goodison, I can understand those emotions. Absolutely incredible scenes.
The credit to Everton as well and David Moyes is that I'm just writing before the whistle blows that this is perfect Liverpool. They get themselves ahead, they manage the game and they get the win. And somehow this Everton group of players and David Moyes and the fans involved wouldn't allow that to happen. They kick a big ball in the box, they get a bit of luck and they get the goal.
And from Liverpool's perspective, actually, they've now gone out of the FA Cup and they've conceded in the 98th minute against Everton, and the few days looks very different all of a sudden.
It looks very different, and that's what teams that are chasing them are going to try and pick something out of it and see, is there a wobble? Can we get at them? And look, they stood up to it today, but in the end, people will be looking at that.
What a hit, Phil.
Yeah, the only disappointing aspect is when you've got to wait for VAR. You know, so you can't celebrate straight away, but, you know, great finish. We're laughing at jokes. I had a little bit of a kick around with Tarkowski about a month ago, and what do you call it? We had a couple of volleys, and we didn't score too many, but thankfully tonight, when it counts, he stepped up.
What I would say, though, Phil, is that yours was better. Yours was better. I mean, this is an easy one. It just falls to Tarkowski. I mean, he gets his body over it, but look, he doesn't have to break sweat. He's just running onto it and is smashing it as hard as possible. I'm not taking anything away. It was a wonderful volley and a great strike. But the tension of the weight.
Over 2 minutes back at that VAR check. There was a check for a tight offside as well, where there was a push from Beto as well. Phil, nervy moments for you. Honestly, I couldn't believe it.
You can see why. There is a slight little nudge, and if that was my team, I would be appealing for the same. I'd probably be getting sent off after the game as well, but that's the emotions of a derby. You know, we spoke honestly, talked about being nice and composed. Obviously, by the sounds of things, he's lost a little bit of composure at the end, and that's what a derby does to you.
How do you sum up the mood around Everton now and the way that they've harnessed the crowds here since David Moyes' return?
I think it's massive to keep progressing forward. I think a defeat would have been harsh and would have been tough to take tonight. As it happens, obviously the draw moves them forward, gets them another point, but you can tell the place is bouncing, and you know, Everton are going to be want to play as many home games as they can at the moment to harness his energy.
Is the draw fair though, Naka?
Yes, I think so. I think Everton were excellent in the second half. They were the better team until Liverpool scored. And it was a lovely finish by Mo Salah. But as I said to you, if Liverpool would have won 2-1, it would have been a brilliant result, just the way they fought. But the quality wasn't there tonight off either team. It became a battle. It became ugly. It became a fight. Let's pump it. Let's fight. Let's run. And I've got no problem with that at all. And it was probably the best result. The way it ended has probably given everybody a little bit more excitement and anticipation. But it was a point each from either side. They'll move on.
Well, when Phil described the Merseyside derby before the game, he said carnage, and that's what we got tonight, wasn't it? And we'll have a lot more discussion on this game.
So we're 45 minutes into the final derby, Merseyside derby that is, at Goodison Park, all to play for between Everton and Liverpool. 11 minutes in, Everton took the lead through a free kick. But let's have a look at the incident that led to the free kick. Should it have been awarded in the first place, Michael?
Debatable. I don't think there was much contact, if any, Manish. And Dye's probably going down before McAllister even gets near him. This next angle is the best one. You can see McAllister, what he thought of it. He was straight onto the referee. There doesn't seem to be any contact there for me. But after that, Martin, it's Liverpool's fault, you'd say.
Yeah, I mean, it was like candy, wasn't it, for Beto there, because so naive, the Liverpool defence. It's really high. I think it's too high. And I do feel that the central defenders, that's the sort of position that they should be in. In an Arsenal defence, that's where we'd have been. Van Dijk as well, and Konate too far apart, so move across into that sort of area. Their body language as well is really poor. Then they should be on high alert. And it's good movement. Beto just runs onside and then follows the through ball. Great weighted pass, by the way, you have to say. And Michael, great finish from him.
Yeah, I mean, they leave a huge channel, don't they? I think Konate's obviously, that's his one role there, is make sure nobody gets in. So I personally would blame Konate a little bit more than Van Dijk. I love the finish. He could take it with his left foot. He actually feints to do it, opens up a total new angle, and then slots the ball. So really nice finish, and they gave Everton the start that they wanted.
Beto's fourth Premier League goal of the season, beating last season's tally of 3 already. As for Liverpool, 4 minutes later, they made it 1-1. So if that was a clever free kick, was this a clever header from Alexis McAllister?
It was, but he was clever there in the interception, the first place, Manish, and then McAllister obviously in an advanced position on the edge of the box, decides to get into the box, makes a late run. This is some header. I mean, it is literally the only place. We see the interception there, brilliant, takes a few players out of the game, and then he's involved in it, lays the ball back, gets into the box. We track him here. But as I say, this is the only place in the goal that he could score. He's stretching with every sinew there. He's helping it on. As I say, he can't get any power. Perfect finish from McAllister. Great goal.
Pickford looks almost at a loss here as the ball beats him. Martin, should he have done better?
Yeah, I think there's a case for that. Look, it's a great header. He's never really set. Goalkeepers have to set so they can actually power off from that stationary platform, and he never really does it there. But, you know, Salah you have to say, I mean, Salah, great ball, NGI, who's had to go off in that first, just misses that ball, and look at that, he just goes into the box. But no, I don't mean the keeper, when you look at it from there, but I expect he's going to have to take off and dive after it. He makes the keeper look stupid there.
Well, that's the view from the studio. What about the view from Goodison Park? Let's go to Steve and Leon. Gents, what have you made of that first 45 then?
Well, we've had privileged seats just behind the two managers. It's been almost entertaining watching those two and the benches as the game and the real battle on this pitch.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a unique viewpoint, isn't it, that we've been able to be privileged to be in tonight, and just seeing the reactions to different instances on the field, not wanting that free kick. Arne Slot desperately frustrated that was given as a free kick, and you know, Liverpool, when they scored, David Moyes is head in his hands, frustrated at how they've given up the goal, because you know, I think both teams have gone at it. I think the crowd have been desperate to get involved. It's such a tense atmosphere. You know, both sets of fans, to be honest, have added to it brilliantly, both willing their teams on, and yeah, if they can help, I'm sure you can imagine that they're trying their best to.
Yeah, you can feel it in the air, and the noise when Everton scored early on was quite incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, you know, people nearly ended up on top of us from the boxes behind. It was, you know, the excitement, and you could just see the desperation for that to have become 1 and 2 and hold on to it. It's not. Liverpool are very much back in the game. Their crowd are loving it, and they're very much involved in the banter towards each set of fans. And you know, 45 minutes more of football at this stadium. I hope it's as exciting as it always
these
is.
Supporters just pitchside, Manish, would give anything for one more goal and an Everton win to win the final derby here at Goodison Park. It's beautifully poised.
Well, it's been a feisty first half. Steve McManaman and Phil Jagielka are watching with me, and it was the perfect start, Phil, for Everton, going in front in the 11th minute. Should they, though, have been awarded the free kick that led to the goal?
I think when you slow it down, it doesn't look like there's much contact, but we see these free kicks given on a weekly basis, and obviously Illiman draws a foul, but you've got to put your hat off. Obviously, we talked about what does David Moyes do, and potentially he's looked at Liverpool having a high line and potentially taking a quick short free kick, and you know, great movement from Beto, pushed him off, and fantastic finish.
Like the finish, Macca?
It was a really nice goal, actually, well rehearsed, well worked out and well finished. But you've got, listen, it wasn't a free kick, but you've got no qualms. Sometimes corners, throw-ins, free kicks go against you. Liverpool should have defended better, but it was a wonderfully crafted free kick by Everton.
But Everton poked the bear, and well, just over 4 minutes later.
Ideally, Liverpool got back into the game straight away, and it was a really nice goal. It was a lovely header by McAllister. Liverpool worked the ball well to Salah, and yet again, lovely cross into the danger area. But I mean, the header is lovely, isn't it, by McAllister? Late run in, nobody can pick him up. Everton are set defensively, but that late run, and talk about a deft header. He's looking the wrong way. Pickford doesn't believe he's headed it where he's headed it. Thinks it's going wide. It creeps into the corner of the net, and Liverpool were back in. But the game's been very, very chaotic, hasn't it? That's the only thing you would say. There haven't been many chances. There haven't been a lot of good players. They fill really nice patterns of play. It's been fight, yellow card, fight, and you're waiting for the game to slow down. Hopefully that'll come in the second half. Bit of fatigue, mentally, physically on the pitch, and Liverpool can work the magic. But at the moment, it just suits the Everton at the moment just because of the chaoticness of the game.
The way Everton have approached it?
No, but that's exactly what we're saying. You know, before kick-off we said one team want to be nice and composed and relaxed. And I think you look at the way Everton have played, they've literally got into Liverpool as much as they can, a few bookings here and there, and put the defence under a little bit of pressure. Still a little bit sloppy, a little bit not too much quality in the final third, but I think if you're an Evertonian or in the Everton team at the moment, you'll be reasonably happy.
It's